update on the 35X, just doing small little jobs here. So I just wanted to fit a tax disc holder, so I found this tax disc holder on the shelf and it was destroyed with surface rust. So I gave it a shot blast and gave it a few coats of this grey primer, and to be honest with you, it's actually looking very similar to the grey that's on the tractor. So I found this rubber as well and just kind of cut it into a slightly better shape to suit the glass here. The glass is a bit dirty, so let's take a tiny little bit of this degreaser wipe, and I've given it a bit of a polish there with just with a bit of that white paper, but we'll just take a bit of this dirt off around the outside there. This will do it, I'd say, it'll do the finest. And we'll get it cleaned up, get it fitted, and it'll be another little thing done. So I left it kind of at a dead end of the day when it comes to the horn on it. I'll show you now what I found out. But that, I was actually mistaken myself with the switches there. It was actually the heater plug switch I thought was working the horn. So we'll show you now everything working. So that's that. Okay, so we won't pop in our disc yet, our tax disc itself. We'll just fit this. So I took out a bolt out of the steering box. Interesting thing about these 35s and 135s is the Ferguson 20s had 11/16 bolts. These are 5/8. So I don't know, was it just to save cost or whatever? I know 11/16 isn't needed, but they definitely did over time make the bolts a little bit smaller, like on top of the gearbox here, the steering box. These are all, I think they're 11/16. Yeah, no, that's okay, they're the same size, but the ones on the side in there, some of them are smaller, so it's nearly like they wanted to I don't know, will I say it, save cost? I don't know. There was a lot of cost saving even in the Ferguson 20s, to be honest with you. They weren't fairly quick about copping on how to save costs. From the very early ones had some better parts and better material in them. So I took out this bolt here. Now, these steering boxes originally were all filled with oil. I sucked out the oil because I have a hand pump that sucked it out, and I was doing work on this tractor and I filled it full of grease. So I'm going to get a bit of a torch and show you the reason why I put grease in there. Okay, so let's get the torch here and have a look. Okay, if you look in there, you can just see the colour of grease. And that's the beauty of grease. The gears in that steering box, they turn very slow, obviously. A lot of the time they're not even turning, you know, when the engine's running. So it's not as if they need oil, and oil only needs one thing. It means changing the seals in there. And I know in the Ferguson 20, it can be a bit of a dog of a job trying to get out the seal with the steering arm still on it. You know, you have to go filing off a bit of a casting, or you have to take the whole thing off. So what I find with these is just put grease into them. Suck out the oil, fill them full of grease. So that's where I'm going to put the tax disc holder on this. Some people put them up here, you know, near the front here. I prefer to just put them there, have them facing outwards rather than facing forwards, because at least then if it's raining or anything like that, you know, you're not driving towards rain and all of that, and you're not soaking your paper disc, so less of a chance of getting wet. A bit of a clean down. We cleaned up our bolt, so that's fine. We have our holder here now, so hopefully that goes through there just about. Will it go right through to the end? Well, we have to hit it with a file, and that's a pain in the bottom. Okay, we'll have to hit him with a file, which isn't useless. So I'll come back, let's give him a quick rub of the round file, hopefully that'll sort it. Okay, so we'll throw that back in there. I like this, it's not in here because it's not in the way of gears, it's not in the way of your knee or anything there, or the pedals, your feet, nothing. So it's not in the way of the controls or anything like that. So we'll get our socket on that. I think the colour isn't too bad. It's probably a bit bright, but It's just going to look better spray painted rather than brush painted, so that's why I said if we can work the spray painting we will. So that's that. Give it a little bend, straighten it. Somewhere there should be good. And now we'll get our other bits. We'll get a glass and a rubber seal and a cover. Lovely. Don't drop the glass. Okay, so put in our disc. Now put in our rubber seal and glass, and then rubber seal like so, and we put our cover over it. Paint might make it a little bit awkward to screw on. Let's make sure it screws on okay. Okay, there we go. Nice and neat, bra neta. That's the best place for it, if you ask me. I think. At least you're looking at it instead of having it in there somewhere. Yeah. So that's that. So the other day we were messing around with the horn and I was wondering why it was being a pig. Well, what I found out was this is not the switch for the horn. This is the switch for the heater plug. So this heater plug was not wired up and I wired it up with this. I actually put a double core wire and use both wires into the switch and from the switch to the power source so that I can draw a lot of current, the current that it needs. So on with our ignition. So on this particular key, right, because it's alternator, originally there would not have been any ignition because it would have had dynamo and a regulator, and the regulator of course breaks the connection, basically turns the ignition off, if you want to call it ignition. It's not ignition on diesel anyway, but regardless, on these originally with the dynamo you would have literally turned a little bit like that and it would have, you worked the heater plug and then you would have turned it up to start. But on this there's only ignition and then start, that's all. There's not two poles, two connections, one for the heater plug and then one for the solenoid and the starter. So what I did was I fitted this, and this is your heater plug. So if you watch the amps, see it dropping, that's the power going to the heater plug. And take the hand off, press it again. So that's your heater plug. So I thought that was the horn, so I was mistaken, because when you look over here, that is the symbol for a horn. So that was my mistake. Regardless, the wires in on that key switch did need a bit of attention because one of them was a bit long, and when you put your hand in here to open up the little catch there for the bonnet, you could have pulled the wire and disconnected it. So look, we have troubleshooted a problem that might have arisen. So that's that. We touched up the back of the seat where the pin had come out. Both pins actually had nearly come out, and the seat then, when you got up on it, it was wobbling side to side and these were scratching. So you can just see where the paint's running after running a bit there. So what I'll do is I'll run a masking tape off this side and I'm going to wet sand that down just to smoothen it. But as far as the colour match goes, it's not standing out like polished metal was. It was actually worked right down to, worn down to the metal. So just a small little update. So have registration plates like the one up there, black with silvery type letters on the way for the roll bar, and the owner said he wants to put on the back of the bar. So I've got two options. I can either fit it on the lower bar or the higher bar. If I fit it on the higher bar, I have to be careful because when I was driving this out of his garage the other day, I just had a look up to see how much room I have on the top of it. I don't have that much. but I'd like to fit it on the top for the simple reason being, if I fit on the bottom and you're looking at the tractor from the front, you're going to see the back of a reg plate. It's not exactly aesthetically pleasing, let's say. So I'll try and take this down without taking the whole shelf with me. No. Oh yeah. So the back of a reg plate is basically like that. So that's what you're going to be looking at. So I'll put it on here and we'll just see what. It's not exactly nice looking at that. Whereas if I put it on the top, you're not going to see as much of the back of this when you're looking at the tractor from the front. It's not going to be as bad, so we'll work, you know. So maybe that's the way to go. And maybe paint the back of it red or something, maybe. Take the bad look off it. Maybe that would be the thing to do. But if we were really tight at the top, I could just put it there. So I'll ask the owner what does he want, but we'll work something. So I have one of these ordered, and I have a sticker order for the front grille. So now if we go putting it on the top, we have to kind of think about putting a screw or a self-tapper, you know, in the corner nearly. So that would work. Yeah, it would work. It would work fine. So it's just going to be down to personal preference, really. Or we could bring it up a little bit more level, we'll say. Maybe that would be the way to go. Just level there, just to. So yeah, that's probably the safest option. But regardless, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So that is it. And then after that, I've just gone around and just touched up a little bit of paint on the front axle and stuff there, and just tried to match things in a little bit there with the engine and the front cradle or the front axle. Did a little bit of touching up in around, all around in there and stuff. Cleaned it and painted just where I was never really asked to paint this, but the paint was there, so we just tidied up a few little corners and stuff in there that were kind of grubby, and give it a little check over and see. I had worked on these foot pegs, and behind there's a ball on the end of this lad here, the radius arm, and I fitted in a little bit of sheet metal there, and I tightened it in. They need to be retightened because they were moving, whereas they're solid now. So both sides. That's maintenance on these. I find you fit them, you tighten it, you use it, you come back and you tighten it again a few times. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Just a quick little update. If I have anything more interesting to show, I'll definitely show it, along with the progress on getting the plate on that. And yeah, we'll keep you up to date. I threw down just a bit of a kind of a straw sack on that, and the seat, just to keep it clean. And you know, I kind of like the look of it, really. It's one of them things. But yeah, that's where we're at. Just give it a quick look over. We did, the last day we were working on that as well, and this feels a lot better. Nice and snug. So we might do a little more work on the front one. It's a little bit loose here and there. I might tighten him up a little bit and get all that nice and snug. But until then, we'll play it by ear and we'll take it as it comes.